From headlines to heartbeats, this is More Than News with Kris Moore. Buckle up for a journey beyond the surface, where we uncover the real stories shaping our world.
Number one. Hey, it's Kris Moore.
I've got great timing. I come in right at the top.
Boom, right there. You don't even waste a moment. That's why I love you so much. Kris Moore with More Than News joining me today. Oh my goodness. You talking about a funny guy. Alex Reymundo, comedian, tequila entrepreneur, nice guy, funny guy. Original Latin King comedy. You're on tour right now. There's so much to say, but why don't you give them a little bit of your background?
I'm at you should know this. I'm at Casa de Mama right now. This is my mother's house. And so I'm in the Dallas. I'm in the Fort Worth area. This is where I grew up, everybody. So Texas, I'm not a stranger to Texas. I'm a Texas boy. And I've been doing this for 34 years now. I've been blessed, and I'm happy today. I mean, 34 years, and look at me, I'm happy. So,
how did you get into comedy?
Girls.
Really?
Well, I was.
Do like funny guys.
Okay, so I grew up in hospitality. My mom and dad came to this country when I was 2, and I grew up in hospitality, bars, restaurants, all that kind of stuff, housekeeping, back of house, hotels, wherever my parents were working. And they always worked in nice places. My mom likes nice shit. You can see. Look,
I like it.
My setup. There's a doily. My mom has doilies in her house.
Did she embroider them herself?
Yes, she does. She makes everything. My mother is an amazing anything. She's an artist of all kinds. She does pottery. She's probably created 15 wedding dresses and the bridesmaids dresses in her lifetime, plus other things. She's making shorts right now for the Catholic school, some kids. But yeah, she's cool.
If I get married again, I know where to go.
Right?
I'll get your mom to make my dress. That is incredible.
But she's a sweet lady, and so anyway, I grew up in hospitality, and so I found myself bartending in a comedy club when the boom started in '87, and I was just there to be a bartender. But I was discovering this I'd seen the art form on TV. I knew who Richard Pryor was. I knew who George Carlin was. I knew Bill Cosby from the old albums, and right. I knew funny stuff. I knew who Howie Mandel. I knew who Paul Rodriguez was, just because I hadn't been exposed to them except for maybe a video on HBO or something like that. But I got exposed to stand-up comedy in these comedy clubs, and it was just a booming time. And I wanted to be an artist of some kind. You've seen me, Kris, if I'm in a town and my favorite thing to see is live music after our shows. And I make friends with the band pretty quick, and I usually get up and sing a song or two. I wanted to be an artist of some kind.
Right.
And when I was bartending in this place, I just kind of discovered this art form of having fun, speaking your mind. And these guys were going home with the hottest chicks in the room. I was like, what is going on here? And so that was, I had a desire to be in entertainment from my hospitality background, but chicks were the number one denominator.
Okay. So you started as a bartender and working in a bar and got into comedy. How did you get into comedy? I mean, did you just go up to the owner one night and say, hey, I'm a funny guy?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I would have definitely not done it in that voice. He would have thought I was sexually harassing him. I was, like everybody, there's open mic nights, there's the, night where they most comedy clubs, most cities, even back in those days, well, maybe, I don't know. I was new to it, but as this club opened and we were doing 5 shows, professional shows a week, there was one night, which was Tuesday, which was for amateurs, open micers. And like every comic, you got to go up somewhere. And that's where I went up, and I cut my teeth there and did probably about 7 or 8 months before I stepped in any other club, because I worked at that club and I was just always there. So I didn't have time to go to other places. But then you eventually got to go to other places, other clubs in the city. And then so that's how I got into the stand-up part. That was my workshop, But the
And
truth
was that
is,
in Fort Worth? Fort Worth,
that
Dallas?
was in Arlington. That was in Arlington.
Arlington.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Arlington Funny Bone Comedy Club. It no longer
Oh.
exists. The Funny Bone Comedy Club still exists. Just that club doesn't. It was one of the boomingest rooms they had. And but you know what? The truth is that workshop continues to this day. I mean, wherever we go now, we're always working on what we do. Sometimes harder than other times, and sometimes working really hard.
Okay, so you started at Funny Bone in Arlington, and how did it progress from there? How did you get involved with the Latin Kings and that whole crew?
Well, I mean, you know, I quit. I abandoned my job as a bartender at one time, and I was fortunate in a lot of ways. One of the ways in the beginning was the guy that owned the Funny Bone Comedy Club, because I already worked for him and I managed that room for him for a little while. Because again, I have a hospitality side, so I knew what I was doing. When I told him I was gonna, you know, quit and pursue stand-up comedy, you know, he was happy for me. So he said, "I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna book you for 4 months straight," because he had 27 clubs across the country. He said, "I'm gonna book you for 4 months straight," which was 16 weeks. He said, "Then I'm not going to book you." And he goes, "And you either go there and they like you, but it's up to you. You no longer have any influence from me." And he gave me, and because that's the hardest thing to do is get some gigs. And he gave me 16 weeks straight, and which really, and I went and, you know, to Cincinnati, to, you know, Kansas City, St. Louis, Columbus, Cleveland, all these places. And you know, they dug me enough to have me back as an opener again. And I've been unemployed for 34 years since. You know.
Okay, so you got started that way. What is the difference? How has your comedy evolved during these 34 years?
Well, there's still dick jokes. I don't know. You know, sometimes they're good. Sometimes I come up with really good things, and sometimes I'm swinging and missing for a while. But I just try to stay consistent and try to have fun and try to speak my mind. And yeah, the rules don't ever change. The rules don't ever change, at least in my mind. And in most comics' minds, the rules are there are no rules. People have society's tried to put some on us, and there are boundaries. You know, we're the first ones to know when something's not working. But as far as saying, hey, you can't say this, or you can't do this, or you can't talk about that. You know what? We're in America, and there's a thing called freedom of speech, and that's what's beautiful. That's what's beautiful. And you can't change it in the Constitution, and you can't change it in comedy, because either way, you don't have a country or you don't have stand-up comedy. So
I love it. So
I don't worry about that stuff. But I do make an attempt, like every comic does, to express my mind while you know, I'm regurgitating my thoughts, and I'm just trying to make them palatable, at the same time shocking, at the same time intelligent, at the same whatever I'm looking for, funny. Right? So I don't worry too much about
politically correct boundaries.
Yeah,
and things.
you know.
I'm glad to hear that. We should not, like you said, it's all about freedom of speech. Okay,
Let's drink to that. And by the way, congratulations to the new president. Congratulations.
Oh, yay. Cheers to Donald Trump and JD Vance. Hopefully that'll clear up some of this woke business. But
well, cheers to America.
Cheers to America.
Cheers to America. And you know what? You know what? Who I'm happiest for right now? I was telling somebody, you know, I've been in a good mood today because I feel.
You're always.
Well, I am always in a good mood, but today, because of the election, and I said, you know who I'm happiest for is the people that don't know, because that's the way you get more people on board to what's good for the nation. And I'm not saying I love everything Donald Trump does, but
of course not.
I think he's right for the nation. So I'm in a good mood.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that. Now, before we carry on with the interview, because I've got so many questions. All right. I know people are sitting here watching us. You will notice that we are sipping.
Oh, yeah.
We are sipping. And we are sipping Number Juan Tequila, which is Alex's tequila that he created. Oh my gosh, it's got to have been 10 years ago.
We're 11 years old now in the US. But I started this project 13 years ago. And the juice that we're drinking comes from a century-old distillery. So I didn't. All I created was everything you see, and the words about it. What's inside that bottle comes from a century-old distillery in Amatitan, Jalisco. Which one do you got there? Look at that. It's nice. Nice.
Is this one?
Yeah.
I actually have a signed. I pulled
That's
out
from a long time ago, girl. We haven't put those boxes out in a while. Hey, so check that out. That's my dad on the box. That's an image of my dad. And we no longer have those boxes. But my dad's always been on the neck.
Yes, it's still on the neck here, but this particular box, whenever you guys were here, maybe the first or second or third time, I blessed these boys for a while, but it's got your ex-brother-in-law, Ron White, and you have signed both of this, but the bottle has the picture of your father on it.
Yeah, that's a vintage bottle there. You've been we gave you that a long time ago.
I know. I kind of refilled it.
Good.
Because I didn't want to put the new bottle out because I always keep a bottle.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's nice to see it.
They have 3 different kinds, but I wanted to use this bottle because it is vintage.
You know what? I got to tell you, I appreciate you drinking with me because it's one of my rules. I love talking to anybody on any platform, but I always say, you got to drink with me. You got to drink with me because
my goodness.
I just want people, you've consumed Number Juan with me before, so you already knew. But sometimes I'm talking to people that I've never met, in person, and or I may meet them in person, but I bring a bottle because I want to turn them on to Number Juan because that's all we're doing. The brand is ours. We're having fun. Hopefully one day it'll make us some money. But our intent is to share something beautiful.
Well, it is a very beautiful story because it is named after your dad.
Well, the tequila is beautiful.
Yeah, the tequila is good. And that's what I want to talk about. So one of my previous radio lives, I was doing a 10 to 2 on an adult contemporary station. Probably was that the first time I met you?
I don't remember if that was the first time, but
I
remember that time.
Oh, Lord. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning and Alex comes bouncing in with his flowing hair and says, we're going to have a tasting. And I'm like, all right.
You didn't take much convincing.
He had to twist my arm, but I said, okay. So we tried all 3. So let's walk down all 3 different tequilas that y'all created.
That's so cool that you asked that because I'm traveling and I went and pulled this.
You have all 3 with you?
I went because I'm traveling. I pulled this from my car.
Okay.
Because whenever I'm somewhere, if I meet someone that hadn't had it yet, like a liquor store, a bar, whatever, restaurant. So it all starts here. This is the Blanco. All right. So they got the agave plant. You guys, I'm sure you know tequila. If you don't, I'll make it brief. There's an agave plant that looks like a big giant aloe vera. They grow to be about 6 or 8 feet tall, and that should grow 7 to 8 years. And when you do harvest that after 7 or 8 years, when it is fully mature, a lot of tequila brands cheat that process, and they pull them out. They pull them out way too early. But once you do 7 to 8 years, then you distill. And we double distill, some single, some triple, whatever somebody else does. Doesn't take too long. But our process, within 2 weeks after it comes out of the ground, after 7 to 8 years, we've got white tequila. All right. So that's the Blanco, the silver.
7 to 8 weeks is what it takes for the white.
Yeah. Yeah. After the 8 years in the ground. After the 8 years in the ground. Now, the bottle I'm drinking and the one that I usually drink the most, it is my favorite of the 3. They're all beautiful. They're all the same alcohol content. They're all technically the same tequila. This one here, the Reposado, is that Blanco bottle after we age it for 9 months in 2 separate barrels, bourbon and cognac, separately, and then we blend them together. So the color you see here and the profile difference in the taste comes strictly from the barrel. Nothing's been added.
That's actually my favorite.
I love the Reposado. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite. And I know
Matter of fact, cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, babe. I love the story of tequila. And whenever we were on there, it really is. And I used to model in Mexico a whole lot. And
on the beach in a bikini, I would like to see that
all the time. But they introduced me before you.
Tell me next time you go to Mexico.
Let's go to Mexico. But what people don't realize, because all you youngins out there, you think you're supposed to rim the.
Hey, you're talking about something else now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't.
Yeah, they think they're supposed to shoot it. They think they're supposed to shoot it. Yeah.
And it's been proven. Tell them the health benefits. Now,
there's so many. There's so many. It just approaches your body. It just approaches your body different. Because the plant itself, the agave plant, is a stimulant as opposed to the corn that they make bourbon out of, or the juniper, the potato that they make vodka out of, or rice, or the juniper that they make gin out of, or the grapes that they make wine out of. Those are all depressants. Yeah. The agave plant is a stimulant. So from the beginning, it approaches you differently. It has benefits. You can look them up: blood sugar, lower cholesterol. Probiotics. I don't even know what those are, but I'm pooping good.
Thanks for sharing.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I am. But it's just a better approach. It's better for your body. It's
really is.
And it's an up buzz, but you should sip it.
You do not shoot tequila, kids. If you're listening right now, and even if you're not a kid, don't shoot tequila.
Well, you can shoot it. And some tequila, and hold on, here's why a lot of people learned to shoot it, because when America was introduced to tequila in a big way, which is way before we started drinking, they were bringing some ugly tequilas in, and they're, the world that what we grew up on was not even real 100% tequila. And then Patron jumped in and showed us a premium tequila. Thank you, Patron. And then all kinds of smaller brands started coming in. And again, what's made here in our bottles is from a century-old distillery. So they were making tequila back then. It just wasn't getting to America. It didn't get to America until 2013. Some other people had some projects with this distillery, but never really followed through. But Number Juan did. And we're in 36 states. Ron and I own and operate it. We have we have a group of investors. We're a small company, but we have a lot of fun, and we give a shit about what we drink, and it's done the right way. The people that do it, the people that create what's in the bottle are artists, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And I just get to talk about it and drink it, and it's mine because, we brought it to the U.S., which is cool. I'm an entrepreneur, everybody.
You are so smart and so successful. Okay, so let's talk
I work hard. I don't know if I'm smart and successful yet, but I work hard.
Work hard. So you got the Reposado, but what is the third one?
The extra añejo. And most companies, that's so funny. I have them all here. Most companies, I'm an alcoholic. I carry all three.
I do. That's what this is.
Most companies next after the Reposado have an añejo. We skip that process. They make a beautiful añejo. It's just I don't carry it in the U.S. because I decided to carry the extra añejo. It is the same white tequila that you saw earlier. But instead of aged in those 2 barrels for 9 months, it's aged in just a bourbon barrel for 3.5 years, thus the darker color. And the añejo that they do make is the exact same process, just less time. And I was like, well, why do I want 2 that are so similar? So I just went for the extra añejo. And because my Reposado is such a badass. That's our 3 bottles. And here's what everyone should know. We're nationwide. You can go to our website and get it and have it shipped right to your front door. Go to numberjuantequila.com. And when you check out, there's a discount code. Put Alex and you get another 15% off. So absolutely the very best price you'll find on any shelf, delivered to your front door.
Looky there.
I don't deliver it. Me and Ron don't deliver it. You should know that. It's not us.
Oh, my goodness. You two boys. Okay. So we will definitely circle back and get them all the information on that. But I wanted them to know that this is a tequila talking podcast, but you're on a tequila talking tour.
Is that what you call your podcast? Tequila Talking Podcast?
Yeah, I'm going to change the name. It's actually named More Than News.
All right.
Talking podcast.
Yeah. You know what? A friend of mine actually, we've all heard, I think someone said, we've all said, oh, that's just a liquor talking. But a friend of mine called me one night, great comic, William Lee Martin. And he said, dude, I got the perfect kind of through line for your show. And I think it'd be a good title for a tour. And he said, it's a tequila talk. And I said, oh my God, that's just perfect, because I've said that a million times, and I drink tequila, and I like to be a little out of bounds with my words, you know, and that gives me an excuse to do it. I just go, hey, it's just tequila talking. So it's a fun, and it goes hand in hand with what I'm doing, which is telling dick jokes and slinging tequila.
So I've seen so many of your shows, but you are on, it's called the, let's see if I can, Red Necks a Tour.
Oh my God. Where'd you learn to read?
Hey, I'm a white girl. Have you noticed?
Those are English words.
Hair, blue eyes. Yeah.
They're English words. It's red Mexican. Red Mexican.
I said red Mexican.
No, you said red Mexican. I thought you had a speech impediment. I wasn't sure.
I don't.
I know you don't.
Making sure that I pronounced it
red Mexican.
Wrong.
That was my last special, which has been a while. You know, I put that out a long time ago, and I'm actually hoping, you know, just keep writing jokes and hoping to get a new something out sometime, maybe in 25. 25 would be a good idea.
But you're touring right now. I know you're coming back here to the Permian Basin in a couple of weeks or a week, but you're touring. How often do you tour?
Constantly. I mean, again, 34 years. I've worked 38 to 41 weekends a year, all those 34 years, except for in 2020. But other than that, I've stayed. Maybe in the very beginning, there was one year instead of 38 weeks, I worked 25 because, you know, it was tough, and I think I framed houses for one summer, so I was home for 4 months. So, but other than that, yeah, about 38 to 40 weekends a year for 34 years. So I'm constantly touring.
What is your favorite part about touring? I know touring is tough. There's probably nothing easy about touring. You're not home, you're in your bus, you're going to different places. But what is your favorite part? Because I can tell you my favorite part. Okay.
Well, you know, all those things you said can be taken as a bad thing, but I'm fortunate that I've always enjoyed all those things. You know? I love it. I mean, I get tired and, you know, and I've got a wife and kids, you know, and so I do love being home. COVID taught me that more than I thought. And, but I think my favorite part is the cool friends I have across the country. I mean, I love the travel. I love being somewhere else every day or every other day. I'm usually, if I'm anywhere for 10 days, I got to get the fuck out of there. But so I love the traveling and the places I get to see, and the fact that there's no walls to my office, you know. But I really have to say, I mean, Kris, I've known you 11 years now, 13 years.
12, 13 years.
Yeah, and we're friends. You know, every time I see you, we have a drink together and we laugh. We have a good time. We see live music. And I have, you know, male and female friends, and some that aren't sure what they are all across the country, you know, like that. And they're fun. And I love seeing them, you know, whether there's someone that works at the club or the venue or another comic or just a friend that I know. So that's my favorite part.
Well, my thing about you and your show is people, I don't care what year it is. I don't care if it's 2024 or 2020 or 2010 or whatever. People are going through things, their whole life.
That's life. That's life.
To go out. Yes, live music is wonderful. You and I both like.
No. I said that's life. People going through things. That's life.
No. Yes, exactly. But to go out and laugh. People don't go out. People don't laugh anymore. They're afraid to laugh. They've got so much on their plate, and you're providing laughs to people all over the place. That's a big responsibility, Alex.
Well, I'm not going to take it too seriously, but I'll tell you this: not just me. There's plenty of guys and girls out there doing it, and I think we do a great service. You know, absolutely. and it's a whole lot of fun for us too. But yeah, anytime, you know what, whether someone's coming out on a regular basis to the comedy club or they're just frequenting, you know, comics they like, or they just come out once a year because someone said, you need to go with us. You're going with it. And they realize, holy shit, I needed that.
Yeah.
Of laughter. That is a beautiful thing. And I love that we can provide that for people, and it's scary. I'm not going to, there's just pressure on us. I think hopefully every comic tells you that before they go on, they're nervous, they're scared, because we want to deliver. We don't want to suck. And I'm just, but I'm having a ball. I'm having a ball doing it. So it's half for y'all and half for me.
So any new news for Alex Reymundo? You are on tour right now. You do have the Number Juan Tequila, but is there anything new?
My kids moved out of the house, which is
you're empty nesting.
Yeah, which is great. It's great because me and my wife are getting to discover each other in a different way. When kids aren't around.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Because for so many decades, 2 decades, we had them there. But I also like it because I get to go see where they're at, and I'm proud of them. Even it may be modest where they are, but I'm proud of them. It's for any parent that goes and visits your kids somewhere now, even if they're just down the street, when you're at their place, it's a nice feeling. And I think part of the nice feeling is I know I'm not paying for their shit anymore. So
you're going to buy something shiny and new?
No. I'm going to keep slinging tequila,
Okay, so let's talk about your tour. How long are you going? All the way through the end of the year? Are you going to be?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm always taking dates. Because again, that's a fun part about what we do too. I'm in either 3 or 7 months, I'm unemployed. So I got to keep filling that calendar, which is sometimes a challenge. And but the good Lord provides, and I keep having fun, writing dick jokes and slinging tequila, and it keeps working. So I've been blessed. Thank you, everybody.
What is your favorite joke? Can you just come up with a joke?
No,
you're not going to do that. Come see the show.
Oh, you mean that I'm doing?
Yeah, that you're doing, darling.
Right now, I don't know. There's a lot of fun parts to the show because it's so personal, right? It's about my life and what's going on. But I think, again, my wife and my family are always in different stages of our life, and so I always get to kind of discuss what's happening.
People relate with that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope so. But I'm just saying, to me, it's fun to express what I'm feeling about those things. And again, everything is truth plus exaggeration. And
yes, sir.
So it's so I always like talking about, I feel the most passion from me comes from when I'm talking about, my kids or something with my wife or whatever, something to do with my family, whether it's my mom or, because that's
who makes personalized her doilies.
My mom's adorable, y'all. She's adorable.
God.
It's like a museum in her house. You have to be careful. You don't want to run into shit. And she's got nice things. My mom has nice taste. My mom will tell you a story about everything in here. And so I got to be careful. I'm a heavy drinker.
With Number Juan.
Yeah, so you know what I do? When I got to pee, I go outside in my mom's house. I make sure I'm not going to hurt something.
Water the rose bushes. Okay, that's very kind of you. You are a thoughtful son. Okay, so let's talk about your tour. How do they find out about the tour?
AlexComedy.com. That'll always tell you what I'm up to, where the dates are, and whether I'm, anywhere near you. But I will be near you. I think it's the 15th next.
It is
not this Friday, but next Friday. I'll be at the Premier Ballroom. Go to Alex Comedy for tickets. There's a link there, or just show up the night of, and hope you can get in. It'd be nice if we had to turn somebody away. We don't want to, but it'd be a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
But just come on out, AlexComedy.com. You follow me on Instagram, Alex Reymundo Official.
And on Facebook.
And on Facebook. It's just Facebook.
You're on all the things.
Alex Reymundo. I got all that social media.
As you should. Do you run it yourself?
I have friends that handle the most part. I answer all the questions. I read it every day, or not every day, but I go on there. But I have friends when there's something technical. And when I say friends, I mean people that do that for a living, right. and but also dear friends. I mean, there's a guy named Brian Scott from Rockstar Marketing. Since I think I met Brian just before we started Number Juan Tequila, and he's been an amazing asset and friend the entire time. You know, he helped us build everything we have at some point or another, even though at sometimes other people helped us, but Brian was always involved. So shout out to Brian.
Okay. Hey, Brian, thanks for what you do. Now
well, and you know what? Brian's got a cool series that he's starting to do, and I just recorded something for him. It's called Stories from the Road, and he's going to put those up on YouTube. And he's got all kinds, because Brian, again, has a company called Rockstar Marketing. He handles a lot of rock stars, you know, and bands and athletes and stuff. So he's got people telling stories of the road. Yeah, but he's going to have a pretty cool thing out. The format he has is pretty cool. I did it for him a couple of weeks ago.
Wonderful. Second question. We're going to go back to Number Juan.
Oh, really?
And it is available in almost every city, but you can also order it online. Your 3 different kinds. Tell them the 3 different kinds of tequila available and how they can get it.
Well, there's the Blanco, the Reposado, and the Extra Añejo. And again, we're in 36 states, but doesn't mean we're in every bar or restaurant. We're far from every bar, restaurant, or liquor store. If we're in the state that you're in, your liquor store could order it. Well, whether they will or not, that's a different question. But the easiest is go to numberjuantequila.com, order it online. It'll come right to your front door nationwide.
Right to your front
at the
door.
best price. At the best price. And remember the discount code Alex, and that'll save you some money. Just for an example, this bottle on average is $65 any liquor store USA on average. Maybe 61, maybe 67. But you can get this one online with a discount code for like 48. Right to your front door. Right to your front door.
How convenient is that?
Yeah, that's well, and you know, that's something that changed when COVID came along, when the quarantine came in.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, get yourself a bottle. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Well, Alex, I got to thank you for taking some time. You are a busy, busy man. Give your mama a squeeze for me.
I love seeing my mom. She's adorable.
Obviously is a great mama. She produced you, and you were doing so much between making people laugh and calming them down after a long, hard day at work.
I never looked at it that way. We do calm them down with a tequila. Hey,
Yeah,
take it easy, man. Take it easy.
it may be a stimulant, but to me, it just is a warm, fuzzy feeling, just like you give most of the people you know.
Oh,
Again,
that's adorable. Tequila is like a nice hug, though. It is. And if you have too much, it's like a big punch in the face. That might be you delivering it to somebody, but it is the best. About
Don't shoot it.
Yeah, don't shoot it. Don't shoot it, everybody. Pick a good tequila. Try mine, please, because I promise you, more than I would bet 8 out of 10 times you can't find a tequila that you're going to like better. And if you do, drink that tequila. But that's beautiful stuff right there. That's beautiful stuff. And I don't bullshit. I don't lie, except the chicks. That don't count. I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
He is.
How easy that was, everybody.
And a funny guy and a wonderful man. Alex,
come see me at the Premier Ballroom, Odessa, Midland. I was just at the Midland Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Had a great time. Me and Paul Rodriguez were there. Come out and this. Me and Mike Shields and Flaco Vasquez. I think at the Premier Ballroom. It's coming soon, so I te watch you.
And check his tour on his website. Get you some Number Juan Tequila. Alex, thank you.
Thank you
again
Chris.
For taking. I can't believe you didn't have that hair down. He should have that hair down because he has got some amazing hair.
Oh, come on now.
Women love it. Guys are envious.
I'm like the Beatles. I'm like the Beatles in the 1960s. I said we were like God. I didn't say we were God.
Okay, so again, one more time, the website.
Mine is alexcomedy.com. The tequila is Number Juan. That's the word number and then Juan, Juan, like the guy that does everything for you. Tequila.com. Numberjuantequila.com.
And of course, we'll have all that information down below. And again, I'm going to thank Alex for taking some time to share his story from comedy to tequila. Alex,
Chris's studio drinking, getting her drunk at 10 a.m. and at in the evening.
Yeah, it's a little later, thank goodness.
We've always gotten tipsy when we hang out together. We've always gotten a little drunk.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Safe transportation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive. Be responsible. Only drink Juan.
Ah,
what I did there?
I like it. Number one. I like it. Alex Reymundo, thank you so much. And
God bless America, everybody.
God bless America.
God bless America.
We are signing off. And if you're whatever podcast platform you're listening to, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, whichever one, be sure and like our link. Follow Alex at.
I've said that to girls. Like my link. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to say it. You said it. I paid attention.
I know. That's. I love that. Of course. And girls.
Like my link.
Just be careful out there. Yeah. Again, thank you so much, Alex Reymundo.
Adios.
Cheers.
Salud.
You've been listening to More Than News with Kris Moore. Join us next time as we continue to dig deeper, ask tougher questions, and bring you the insights that truly matter.